Sean, you want to lead us off? I'd be happy to. Congrats on the point on the road, coach. And I guess the best way to start us off is what the heck just happened?
Yeah. Again, football, man. I think, I thought we played a pretty decent game. I thought at times we rushed things and didn't really allow for us to get into our attacking structure higher up the field. I think when we did that, so the first 15, 20 minutes, and then the last probably 15, 20 minutes, we did a really good job of that. But again, that's the tactical piece. And and I'm forever a believer in the spirit, right? Um, because to have a group of guys that don't quit, that don't stop, that believe that we have a chance. Again, if you don't believe you have a chance, there's no way you're going to score. But these guys, it's almost like they go in this, they override their brains and they let their spirits take over. And again, I can't say enough about this group. Um, and that's not taken away from the quality. That's not taken away from the individual. But the collective spirit of the group is impressive to me. I've never been a part of a team that believes more than this group. And so when we connect that with some of the tactical things that we'll work on in the next couple of days, I couldn't be more proud of the group of guys.
That kind of bleeds into my actual question, sort of the follow-up question, I guess, in a lot of ways, because you use the word spirit a lot to describe those guys. So much had to go right in those final moments, from the the goal to the no goal, the VAR call to the counter to uh Vera's ball in, Crooks keeping it alive. I think he's owed whatever's the native soup in his part of England, I think, for keeping that ball alive. And then Andres for finally finishing it. Is that mentality kind of that word that you like to talk about a lot, or is it just that gritty, gutsy, never say die spirit that you're mentioning, I guess?
Again, I think, well, how that translates onto the field, I think if you don't believe, you're not putting yourself in those positions. You don't have guys challenging for those balls. You don't have, Emeka and Brian at the top of the box ready to pick up seconds. You don't have Andres and Chicho and Fidel inside, inside the six ready to pounce. And so I think belief is what guides the players, right? And that mentality is, and because again, I think from a coaching perspective, you want things to go this way. And the amount of times in football, it's being opportunistic. It's believing that the ball is going to bounce here. It's the guy that gambles like Crooks did on winning that header on the back post. There's just if you don't believe there's a chance you're going to win it, you don't go. You're not even in those positions. And so that's, I think, how it translates onto the field. And then it's about individuals making plays. At the end of the day, the two boxes are the most dangerous areas. And when you have guys like we have with the quality that we have to make plays, again, I don't know what else to tell you. It's just
Yeah.
it's been, these last three games have been crazy.
Last one from me, because you mentioned the spirit and the belief of the guys obviously on the field, but be honest, from a personal perspective, were you watching the last couple of minutes kind of through your fingers in some ways, just kind of hoping, praying, I guess, believing still, but
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't be the guy that's hiding behind fingers and telling these guys, we're going to score. We're going to score here. It doesn't make sense. I'm an eternal optimist, man. I believe that, I believe if you think you can, there's always an opportunity. And these guys have taken it to the nth degree. These guys are superseding anything that I'd imagine in these last three games, coming down from difficult score lines. Dallas, it was 100 degrees with 100% humidity. Here it's raining and chilly on artificial turf, and there's a million excuses that you can make. And the mindset and the again, it's all cliche stuff. But when you experience these three games on the sideline, you'd be crazy not to think that the ball's going in. Right? We've seen it too many times. So now the onus is on us at home, and obviously we want to be on top of the score line. We don't want to keep chasing games, but a really important lesson If you're going to be a top team in this league, you've got to find ways to win that aren't scripted, right? And that's a lot of belief, and that's a lot of quality in the attacking third. And the guys in the back, did a fantastic job. Gav did great in the goal. The guys are in a good way at the moment.
Caleb?
Yeah, so you mentioned these last couple games have been pretty crazy, and one of the craziest aspects is the fact that Chicho hasn't even been scoring the goals for you guys after getting out to a 13 goal start in the season. So we've talked a little bit about these other guys like Andreas and other guys that have contributed. What in your opinion, what is going into these impressive complementary performances? And is it attention on Chicho? Is it him raising this group up, or is it these guys just kind of finding their way?
Yeah, I think it's a culmination of all that. Obviously Chicho's going to garner a lot of attention. I think Andreas is having a breakout campaign. Luna's been playing extremely well and contributing from that perspective. It's hard to put a finger on as to how that's working, but again, I think you know, they just keep finding ways, man. And like I said, the most important area from an attacking perspective is the box. And we've starting in preseason just talked about getting numbers in dangerous areas. And I think the guys are doing a lot of great work. And there's a lot of selfless running ahead of the ball where other guys are contributing as well. Obviously, Chicho is our guy, man. But we can't ride Chicho all year long and expect it to work out. And I think this is a great moment for us where if he's not on the score sheet, we're still finding ways to get goals in the back of the net.
Yeah, you mentioned Diego there, and I wanted to touch on him real quick. He didn't make the Olympic roster today, and then he got subbed off in the second half. Didn't look too happy, a little frustrated. What are conversations like with Diego right now as he kind of goes through maybe a bit of a growing period right now?
Yeah, I think again the reason for that is Diego's been starting the last couple games, and we have a 3-game week. I'm cognizant of the legs and the travel, and so that was the decision for that sub. And then obviously the belief in the other guys to step up and do a good job. And I thought Bedell got in there and had a good look, and played well. And so we've got to as coaches, plan ahead. But I think all these situations that are going on with Diego is a part of his development. And I think as you saw in the first half, he's a guy that's fearless. He's a guy that's brave. He's a guy that creates opportunities for himself and his teammates. And he's a tireless worker against the ball. And so everything that we're asking for, he's doing it. And I think these moments with the national team, the Olympic team, all that stuff will come. Again, it's in life, we all want it to happen now. Everyone wants it now, but there's a reason why it's not happening now, and that's fine. He's going to continue doing his thing. He's going to continue to contribute for our team. We value Diego. We think he is an unbelievable asset to our club, to his teammates, and he's going to continue to do great. And so, my conversations with Diego are, obviously he's disappointed he's coming off, but if you're a soccer player and you're happy coming out of a game, then you're not a winner, right? And so the fact that he's disappointed is so normal. But again, I have to be the one that makes decisions for the group, not just for Diego, because again, the group needs Diego, this Saturday. So, but he's doing great. He's going to crack on. And whether it's, this summer or, the national team in the future, he's going to be just fine. He's going to get there.
Awesome. And then lastly for me, you mentioned that the guys have already kind of superseded whatever expectations that someone could have put on them to this point. It begs the question, what is the ceiling, I guess? You guys have gone 12 games without losing. What can possibly stop this team at this point?
Again, something that we talk internally, Caleb, is it's us against us. I think our opponents are obstacles that stand in the way, but the challenge that I bring up every game day is it's us against our previous selves, our previous performance? Can we raise the bar? Can we continue to tactically understand what the game is giving us and exploit that moment, right? Can we get into our opponent's attacking third and then be more patient? Oftentimes we want to make plays that aren't there. And in doing so, we create a lot of transition moments, right? And transition is obviously difficult to defend at times, because again, we're putting a lot of numbers higher up the field. So I would say that's an area of our game where we just have to become a little bit more sophisticated with. But as far as the mindset, the individual self-expression, all these things is I encourage that kind of stuff, because if Andres can't be Andres, if Chicho can't be Chicho, if Luna can't be Luna, then we have robots out there, right? But I think we just have to evolve as a team, to understand the moments where we can really make other teams suffer, especially on the road. And I think we did a really good job of that in the first half. But as far as what's the ceiling for this group, we believe we're a top team in this league. And so again, the challenge isn't against the next opponent. The challenge is us against our previous performance, as a collective.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have questions for Pablo? Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Pablo.
Yep.
We'll have Andres and Gavin shortly. Hey guys, obviously we've got Diego here. Caleb, you want to lead us off? Then we'll go to Sean. Raise your hand in the Zoom function if anybody else wants to ask.
Thanks for taking the time tonight, Diego.
Yeah, I think no, easy. Like no, I think like yeah, both medals. I think yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah,
could
go
you,
ahead.
yeah, could you just kind of walk us through the emotions of another wild game for this team?
Yeah, I think we put away our chances. I think we could do better, and then yeah, I think it's just the mentality. I think you guys seen it. We just don't give up, and that's what we are, and that's what's gonna keep setting us apart from other teams. I think the bench realizes, when we're there in the ending moments of games, that we're not freaking out, we're not tripping or anything. It's literally just stay calm, continue to work, don't force anything, and things will go our way.
Pablo Mastroeni was just in here and said he's never been a part of a team that believes as much as this team does. Does that ring true for you as well? And what makes this team different from other teams that you've been a part of?
Yeah, I think just the mentality that we have. It's not often that you see teams like that, I feel like. And I think one game at a time, when we're going to continue to do this and continue to have this mindset and this thing that we just keep digging no matter what the score is, no matter what minute it is. And I think that's something that a lot of teams fall off, a lot of teams mentally are weak and give up, and I think that's something special. Yeah.
Thanks. And then lastly for me, I did want to touch on this. I know a lot of people were surprised to not see your name on the Olympic squad that was released today. Were you surprised by that? And what are just kind of your thoughts and emotions heading into this summer?
Yeah, I think for me it's really just another thing in your career. It happens or not, it's out of your control. I think just keep performing, continue to perform here for RSL, and that's what I'm focused on. And everything else will always turn out how it wants to be. But I think there's always benefits and things in other, if I don't go to the Olympics, there's other things that I can be selected for. If I get selected to the Olympics, then that's great as well. So I think it's just staying positive and continuing to work.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, Diego, you mentioned the belief of this team, and it sounds like you kind of agree with a lot of what your head coach is saying, just about kind of the spirit and the fight of this club. Pablo was just telling us he's sort of an eternal optimist in a lot of ways, and maybe that's rubbing off on the team a little bit. Can you just take us inside the locker room? Like, is there some Ted Lasso level stuff going on with like a belief sign or something like that you guys are tapping? Like, where does this belief come from, I guess?
No, nothing, no funny games, no Ted Lasso stuff, none of that, whatever it is. But I think it's just the mentality. I think it's something that, we're striving to win things, we're striving to win championships. It's all serious. We can have fun, when we want to, but we know that whenever we step on that field, it's train to be champion, play to be champion, play to win, training, play to win. We don't want to lose. And everybody has that mindset. And I think that's something that is what's setting us apart, is that every single one of our players coming off the bench, starting the game, rotations, everyone knows what we have to do. And I think that's what it is.
Thanks, Diego. Congrats on the result.
Anybody else? Thank you, Diego.
Thank you.
Hey guys, obviously Gavin Beavers is here. Sean, if you want to lead us off, then we'll go to Caleb. Anybody else, raise your hand using the Zoom function, please.
Yeah, Gav, I know that alleged, I guess, that called back second goal that we have to refer to it now probably wasn't a great moment that you're thinking of, but so much had to happen kind of in the build up to Andres' equalizer and whatnot that kind of started there, from the VAR to the restart, the counter to Vera's ball, to all of that. Have you ever, from your vantage point, have you ever seen such a turn of events where it kind of felt like everything just sort of went your guys' way?
Yeah, no, I think I've never been a part of something like that, where bang, second goal, you think, oh, shoot, 2-0, right? 97th minute, right? I didn't even know how much stoppage time there was. I didn't even see the board until after the game, where obviously we went to 101. But yeah, no, it was unbelievable from us, and just a great fight from the group. We never give up, as we've seen the last two games now. And this group's special, and we're willing to battle for each other because we're all family. And I think it was just unbelievable fight. So
Yeah, for sure. The word that coach kept using with us was spirit and belief. Kind of channeled a little bit of his inner Ted Lasso in there, I guess in some ways. But that's three straight games now where you guys have had to come back with different lineups and rotations and all of that stuff. Like, what is it about this team that just has this kind of never say die type of attitude in them?
Yeah, I think we're all willing to fight for each other, at the end of the day. Coach says a lot, chest out, balls out, and I think that's something that we've really, carried with us this year. No matter what's going on in the game, we stick to our game plan and the way that we know how to play. And the results will come, and yeah, just keep fighting till the end. Never stop.
Caleb?
Yeah, I'm curious what it's been like for you to kind of come in these I feel like mostly road games that you've been rotated in to fill in for Zach. How do you feel like this process has been going and kind of your growth over this season so far?
Yeah, no, it's been great. I think I like playing on the road. It's good. It's always, a good atmosphere. I of course would prefer to play at home, but I love getting minutes, and I think this year it's been really good for me to, just get out on the field, and I definitely feel a lot more comfortable, I think, than I did last year. Feet wise and just being trying to be a leader within the team as well. So I think, this year's been really good, and Zach and Mirza and Tomas have been great, and getting me ready to play. When it is a Wednesday game or whatever it may be. So yeah, I felt ready to go whenever they need me to. So
And then you mentioned Mirza there. I think I saw on the broadcast that you went up to him pretty much as soon as the game ended and talked with him about something. What was your guys' conversation about there at the
yeah,
end?
no, going kind of back to the goal, just trying to figure out kind of what I needed to do better on that. Obviously with Rusnak's quality, and, he can whip a ball however the way he wants. Definitely having the wall set up probably a bit more to the left. Just talking about that, and a little upset with myself about that one. But, at the end of the day, it's part of the game and learning. Just taking it on the chin, and, obviously we got the point, and, we keep it going. So of
Awesome, thanks.
course.
Anything else for Gav? Thanks, Gavin.
Yeah, of course.
Congrats again.
Thank you. How's that? Good?
Fantastic.
All right.
Hey guys, Andres is here. Please allow Alex, who's also on the line, to translate questions and answers as necessary. Please use the raise hand function to go first. And then anybody else that wants to ask questions of Andres, please let me know. Go ahead, Caleb.
Hola, Andrés.
Hola, ¿cómo vamos?
Ya, felicidades por el gol. Ah, pasó básicamente al último minuto ahí en este partido. ¿Qué es de este equipo que nunca dejan de tratar de meter goles ahí hasta el final?
No, pues primeramente Dios que lo ha permitido, obviamente, pero los trabajos de los profesores han sido muy buenos, tanto en lo mental como en lo físico que hemos trabajado, y eso nos ha ayudado mucho, y pues poco a poco vamos mejorando, aunque siempre toca que mejorar cada día más en todo, y seguimos luchando con espíritu de guerreros.
His answer was that the coaches have done a really good job preparing him mentally and physically. That has prepared him, but obviously it's been about the grit and the desire to win and to never give up, to just keep fighting with that spirit that Pablo also keeps referring to.
Espíritu de guerreros, me gusta eso. ¿Nos puede hablar un poco más de este espíritu?
¿Cómo me repites la pregunta, por favor?
Ya, ¿nos puedes hablar un poco más de este espíritu de guerrero que me dijiste?
Ah, pues no, es como los profesores no trabajan mentalmente, que tenemos que salir a dar lo que tenemos que dar, a darla todo en el campo, que si futbolísticamente o tácticamente no nos salen las cosas, nos sale peleando, corriendo y metiendo los huevos.
That it's about how the coaches have prepared them, that even when things aren't going their way, tactically or the way of soccer just not going their way, that they have to go out there and fight with their attitude and just leaving it all out on the pitch. And they all know that that's what the coaches want and that's what they want to do.
Y finalmente, tienes 8 goles esta temporada ya con este partido, y estás recibiendo más atención del público, de periodistas y todo. Y hay personas que te tienen como All-Star en esta temporada. ¿Qué te sientes como ser All-Star de MLS esta temporada?
No, pues sería muy bueno si Dios me permitiera estar ahí, pero la verdad sigo trabajando, no importa si me llevan o no, sigo trabajando para cuando se dé la oportunidad y llegue para ir, presentarme de la mejor manera y pues poner el equipo en alto, que es lo que se quiere, y hacer las cosas de la mejor manera en el club. Y Dios quiera y al final de temporada nos llevemos el título, si Dios lo permite.
That he obviously does wanna. It would be obviously awesome to be at MLS All Star, but that he just wants to keep working, keep his head down, focus on what's going on here with the club, and making sure the club's doing good. And obviously, at the end of the season, wanting to be the ones lifting the MLS Cup.
Gracias.
¿Cómo?
Sí, gracias.
Ah, ya.
Gracias.
Anyone else? Go ahead, Sean.
Ah, una pregunta nomás, Andrés, pero en los momentos inmediatamente antes de tu gol, cuando sacaron al otro gol por el VAR y todo eso desde el recomienzo y el pase de Brian Vera, y todo eso, ¿qué te estaba pasando en la mente para buscar esos, bueno, esos huevos, digamos, para meter ese gol en tan último minuto?
No, pues yo confío mucho en Dios y pues yo le pedí a Dios que me ayudara, que ayudara el club para que al menos empatáramos y no nos fuéramos así perdiendo. Y pues afortunadamente Dios lo permitió así y me quedó el balón 2 veces, pateé 2 veces y me quedó 2 veces. Entonces, gracias a Dios se me concretó el gol y pues muy contento por ese empate que es muy importante, que nos ha ayudado a sumar puntos. Y nada, confiando mucho en Dios, como siempre.
That he was asking God the whole game to kind of give him an opportunity, give him that chance to tie the goal. And then he got 2 chances at it. He got his first one blocked, but thankfully was able to get the second one in. But obviously, he just kept asking God for that opportunity, and he's glad to be able to get these points that can help the team get some points on this away trip.
Go ahead.
Andrés, este equipo no se muere. De dónde sale el veneno cada vez que se acercan los últimos minutos?
No, pues gracias a Dios que permite todo a los últimos minutos, pero también el trabajo que venimos haciendo con los profesores, con los compañeros, eso no miente. Cada vez nos vemos más fuertes a pesar de los errores que tengamos y eso es muy bueno y pues eso se ve reflejado en el campo, es por eso, por el trabajo y cómo nos está trabajando el profesor mentalmente.
En lo personal, ¿qué es lo que más ha cambiado? Porque la influencia de Andrés sube y sube y sube en el equipo.
Pues la diferencia entre el año pasado y este es notable, pues que es gracias a Dios que he estado muy concentrado, trabajando, alegre, contento este año, a diferencia del año pasado. Obviamente, problemas que nunca faltan, pero Dios me tiene aquí y me ha hecho mejorar cada día más, trabajándome y haciendo las cosas de la mejor manera en los entrenos.
¿Y cuál es la clave para que tu actuación y el equipo se mantenga en el momento que está en lo más alto de la tabla, siempre ganando, siempre con goles?
No, pues la clave es el trabajo que se hace en la semana con los profesores, con los compañeros, porque el partido pasado entraron los compañeros que estaban en el banco y solucionaron. Entonces eso habla muy bien del trabajo, que todos están preparados cuando les toque y eso se ve reflejado.
La jugada del gol la viste venir, la visualizaste, te quedó, ¿cómo encontraste el remate doble con ambas piernas?
No, pues una jugada antes tenía fe en Dios que lo iba a permitir. Y afortunadamente me la dejó ahí 2 veces porque me la taparon y me volví a quedar ahí. Entonces fue cosa de Dios y toda la honra y la gloria siempre es para Él.
Cada vez que un jugador está en un momento como el tuyo, van a haber aspiraciones de la selección Colombia. ¿Cuáles son tus aspiraciones? ¿Cuál es tu comunicación o tu deseo para jugar con Colombia?
No, pues es un sueño, vestir la camiseta de tu país siempre va a ser un sueño, estés donde estés, y todavía tengo la esperanza y confiando en Dios, que es el que me va a permitir cumplir ese sueño y representar a mi país de la mejor manera.
¿Tiene buena comunicación con el técnico o con la federación en general?
Pues con la federación no, pero con los preparadores físicos.
En la transmisión de televisión en español te volvieron a llamar Tinito hoy.
Ah, sí, sí, mejor, porque eso allá, eso era algo que también me estaba como ese, que me decían que el diablo, que Dios reprende esas palabras porque confío mucho en Dios y la verdad no me gustaba eso.
Muchas gracias.
Todo.
Gracias, Andrés.
¿Ya?
Eso es todo.
Todo bien.
Entonces,
Felicidades.
Tinito, ¿verdad?
Finito, me
Ah,
va.